Okay, I know your gardens are just coming in probably, but if you want to preserve that summer produce, June Puett with UT Extension is here to help you because she's going to show us how to make a jar of jam in just 3 minutes without heating up the kitchen. Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm great. It's good to be here.
So I love watching you come in.
Yes.
There is something that's very calming and soothing, I think, about watching somebody who knows what they're doing in the kitchen. And that is definitely true for you. What's great about these classes, as you begin to walk me through this, though, is that people are going to truly come to your kitchen at the UT Extension.
Yes,
is that right?
Yes, at our demonstration kitchen. And we're going to learn a lot. A lot of it will be lecture and slides and so forth, but we'll do some hands-on
Prep is everything.
as well. Yes, it is.
And you've already prepped.
It is. So it's going to be easy peasy. And today, Julie, we're going to make strawberry freezer jam. You don't need a stove. We don't heat anything up.
This is freezer jam.
Freezer jam.
All right.
Yes.
So you've measured everything out.
I
What are we gonna
have.
do?
Well, we're going to start with some pectin, Julie. And pectin, it comes in liquid or powder form. And that's what people extract from trees, and that causes it to gel.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a little brown, if you can tell. And if you'll just dump that into a little bit of just regular sugar we have there, got in the bowl.
If you needed to, June, substitute
And stir that up a little bit.
stevia or something like that instead of sugar. Can you do
Yeah,
that?
well, there's Splenda. Yeah, there's some instructions on using Splenda because that doesn't alter as much chemically if you do heat it, but that's the most stable that you can use in canning.
Okay.
So that's just stirred up just a little bit, and now if you'll put some strawberries in there.
Now, have you pureed these? Is that what
No,
you've done?
I just chopped them up, and I
Wow.
like to use a potato masher to kind of smush them a little bit.
That's a good
that's a real
idea.
technical term there, smushing.
Yeah, that's a good idea, though.
So Julie, all you do is stir that for 3 minutes, and we're going to chat while you're stirring it up, and then we'll put it in a jar, and it's going to be ready to go.
Now, can you substitute other fruits if you
You
wanted
can
to?
make it with any kind of fruit you want to. Yes, you can.
Okay.
And you'll see a beautiful jar that has been in the freezer since last July. And I'm going to let you
wow.
taste that when we get finished there.
Okay.
So you can put it in the refrigerator for about 3 weeks or in the freezer for up to a year, Julie.
Now, I know that this is a canning and freezing class that you're going to be doing. Is that right?
Well, we have 2 separate classes. In freezing classes, we're going to talk about what type of standalone freezer to buy if you want to, and which type of refrigerator freezer is going to best suit your needs.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about how to keep foods fresher longer to get, keep away that freezer burn. If
Okay.
you've ever opened a package of meat or something really expensive and that freezer burn
Yeah.
is there. So we're going to talk about how to get rid of that. But we're going to make a jar. Everybody will get to take home a jar of freezer jam from that class.
Okay.
And then our canning classes, we're going to talk about a traditional canning and when you should use a water bath canner like this one versus a pressure canner. And you'll know exactly which one you need to use for what produce or meat or pickles or jams.
So you told me a few years ago that there had been a real trend with younger people becoming interested in
Yes.
this. Not everyone has the space for a garden. Maybe they don't have a green thumb.
Yes.
But if you were to go to a local fresh produce market.
Keep stirring, Julie.
Okay, sorry. My husband would be so jealous of you right now. Keep telling her what to do.
And just gently stirring. All you're doing is dissolving the sugar and the pectin. That is it.
3 minutes is a long time.
Well, it is. But if you're talking to somebody, or if you're really good, you can check email, or what. You can watch your show while you're doing this.
That's a commercial break. Yeah, whatever.
So you can multitask.
That's
so
right.
yeah, so you don't have to really concentrate it on on anything. So
Okay, but here was going to be my question.
Yes.
So let's say you go to your local produce market and a farmer's market, and you get some fresh tomatoes
Yes.
and whatever you're going to get. That will also work, right? As long as you do it quickly.
Yes. you know, a lot of people, their gardens may not do well even, but
Right.
they still want to can. So you can go to that, and even our big box stores, Julie, they have local produce.
Good
So
point.
so don't, you know, discount that, because that's where I go to get tomatoes for our classes and so forth, because it's usually easier because I need to buy in quantities and you need everything kind of uniform looking.
But
So-
you're going to save money on your grocery bill, aren't you, if you do this?
Well, it used to not as much, but I think in today's time, and one good thing about these instant products, you can make them with just small batches. And I'm going to even show you how to make pickles that you don't have to heat up or anything.
Today?
Not today. I didn't think pickles and berries would go. Other than that's a trend.
We have
you
a
know.
pregnant coworker in the station. It might work just
But
fine.
people are fermenting a lot. In our canning classes, Julie, we're going to make kraut in a jar for people to take home.
Oh, really?
They're going to
That's
get to
fun.
make their own kraut. And Julie, I did not like kraut until I started doing these classes, and I found the perfect recipe.
Now you got to
that
make
I'll-
a Reuben.
That's really good too. And just sauteing it in a skillet with some sausages. Oh my gosh, and toasted bread and brown mustard. Perfect
Then your
summer,
next
fall.
European trip has to be to Germany.
Well, been there, done that.
We've been talking travel in the kitchen before we got on the air.
And the foods, you know, that's part of the travel for sure. So I think it's been about 3 minutes.
I do
and we would
too.
set a timer. So if you can just pour into the jar, and you may have more than what will fit in the jar. And that's fine. You can always eat that or have another jar handy. And you don't want to fill all the way to the top, about the rim. You want to leave like a 1/4 inch head space, because that allows the food to expand. If you're canning, you allow a head space because when you heat it up in the processing, that forces the air out, and that way the germs don't have, the bacteria don't have anything to grow in if there's not any air in there. So
Okay.
that's good. That looks great.
Yes.
That looks great. Now, any type of canning we want to do, we would take just a plastic knife and go down and get any air bubbles out. And that's just going to get more air out of the jar and give you more space for the room. But you know, I don't really see any air bubbles. You did such a good job.
I followed directions well.
And you can use a 2-piece canning lid like you would do in traditional canning if you want to, and I'll let you screw that on.
Okay.
And to put in the freezer, you'd want it to be tight. But Julie, when we put things in the canner, it's fingertip tight because the air has to have room to escape from that jar.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so people learn, even if they've been canning a long time, they pick up on tips, you know, in the class.
So this is this 1 year later.
It is.
Correct?
It is.
And
it
you want
is.
me to taste it?
If you would like to,
course.
sure. Yeah, it's beautiful too.
How much
So,
sugar do you think you put in? About a cup?
well, there's a specific amounts. No, it's not a cup. And I did a little calculations, and actually this used less sugar. Is it good? Mm-hmm. It is pretty
I'm
good.
not going to double dip because then you can't enjoy it when you get home. That's yummy.
Yes, and Julie, people like this because it has the fresh taste of strawberries. Because when you heat it to can it to make it shelf stable, that alters the flavor of berries. It's
Oh, yes.
cooked berries a little bit, and I just like that fresh taste.
It's so yummy. I have to wrap it up, but that would be good with actual jam. It'd be good over ice cream. It'd be good pancakes.
waffles.
Ooh, okay. What are you doing tomorrow morning? 209-8560. You can also learn more on hamilton.tennessee.edu. The classes begin.
In July 19th, I think is the first one. Sorry, June 19th.
Okay.
All the canning classes are in June, and then the freezing classes are in July right now.
So there's time to sign up.
Absolutely.
A commercial vehicle wreck can be life-altering.